G'day everybody, Rob from Blue Collar Sports, just up here, part of the Zenadth Kes Cup basketball. It's been a fantastic week. And joining me today on Blue Collar Sports, we've got Erich from Diabetes Australia, and he's also made the trip up here this week. He's in community, talking all things health and wellbeing. Erich, just give us a bit of a rundown on what you're doing up here this week.
Yeah, Thomas from, I guess works for Torres and Cape Hospital and Health Service, and also Wongai Basketball Association. Just invited me to come up here and set up my stuff, and just opportunities for people to come and have a yarn about health, wellbeing, from a Torres Strait Islander Aboriginal perspective. Sort of talk about health from a perspective of positivity rather than always talking about what's going wrong and you know, people coming down on themselves thinking, oh, I'm bad, I'm misbehaving. So they come from a positive perspective, and what better place than you know, a sports carnival which brings people together, active, talking health, talking about life in general. So,
100%. It's an important sort of space, mate. Done a bit of work in the mental health sort of space in that as well, and very much wanting to be some more in that preventative space, more than sort of talking about the stuff that happens sort of after the fact and the bad stuff. Getting into that, if we can be really open and really positive in our conversations about how important it can be at the front end, eh?
Yeah.
And so you've got a lot of really good stuff that we've got sort of situated up here. We can sort of roll through, and we'll give you a bit of a gander through there. So what is it that that everyone's engaging in here at the moment?
So mainly these are what we call yarning cards, and it's just getting the conversation started. And if you scroll through the yarning cards, you can see that it's about diabetes yarning, so it's a yarn. It's not about someone telling someone else what to do, it's about a yarn. And as you can see here, we talk about before time. So before colonisation and that, people had their natural carbohydrates, fats, proteins, and ceremonial and family life, people had physical activity. We also look at the changes that came about to our lives, you know, through introducing different foods. In many communities, people were removed from country. In the Torres Strait, people were sort of imprisoned on country, they couldn't move around. Ceremonial life was changed, and also when cash started becoming the sort of main thing rather than farming, gardening, fishing, sort of that had a big effect on life and in general health after that. So when people sort of, they look down on themselves, say, oh, I'm not eating good and I'm not exercising, there's a whole heap of other stuff behind it which is historical and political. So it's about people sort of coming to terms with that and going, yeah, that's right. There's other things that we talk about as well. Trauma through colonisation that has lived through generations has a pathophysiological effect on the body that no one seems to talk about. You work in mental health, so you know about the social and emotional, which also talk about the production, you know, living in the fight or flight state. Cortisol, adrenaline rushing through the body. Some people live in that state, and that affects insulin resistance and the ability of the body to, its immune system. So we bring all that into it as well. So
fantastic.
It sort of means that if you're looking to heal from things like that, medications is great, physical activity is good, eating more balanced is good, but giving people the opportunity to heal through some of that intergenerational trauma from removal, from racism, from legislation. Awesome. That's all very important.
Very important conversations that you're having up here, and getting a whole lot of engagement. Like, I've seen a lot of kids have been floating around the back, and a lot of the players sort of floated and wandered through. So
yeah, the kids are the greatest because they see the tool that we use, and they just go, "What's that?" And then we sort of bring out these magnetic discs, and we talk about the relationship between carbohydrate foods, whether it's, you know, your milk and bread and potatoes, but also acknowledging that carbohydrate foods existed like the Wongai, condongs, sugar bag. So carbohydrates have been around for thousands of years. Its conversion into glucose, which, you know, it stimulates the production of insulin, which moves it through our body. So we talk about how everyone's there with energy, and the energy comes from the glucose, which comes from the carbohydrates, which is, you know, called sugar. But everyone sort of demonises sugar like a bad thing. But it's our source of energy.
Well, certainly,
So everyone in there is really working there.
100%.
Working there, and you know, requiring a lot of energy. So the carbs they've eaten is contributing to the energy they got running up and down the core, back and forth. And once the body, you know, sort of will go through that, once it runs out of the carbs you might have eaten the night before, then it starts looking at the storage in the liver. Once it runs out of that, then it starts burning off the fat that we may have accumulated over the years.
For sure.
So it's just that relationship which means people go, oh, if I do that and that and that, then this happens, rather than me or you or a doctor saying, you've got to exercise.
Yep.
Why? No, because I said so. Well,
Yeah, for sure.
So it's about relationship between all
Yeah,
that.
100%, and that understanding. So, once people can understand sort of what it is and educating them, and it really fits in really well. So we had Aja here from the Sports Mindset doing some stuff with the kids, and just really laying in because they're fantastic athletes. We always see that when it comes to the rugby league or the basketball carnivals, any sport. We've got fantastic natural athletes around here, and just building in all those tools that they can use all the way along that journey as athletes, from the mindset into their physical health and how they go with that, and really creating those well-rounded athletes and people. So,
and not demonising people's sort of lifestyles. I mean, some of the young fellas, they're out here, and I'm listening to them talking. They go, "Oh, I've got to get off the grog. I've got to stop drinking." And sometimes
might have been me involved in that conversation.
Yeah, me too. And we've got to face it. Sometimes, in a lot of people's lives, alcohol is part of our lifestyle.
Yes. Yeah.
And I enjoy it. You enjoy it. Some of the boys enjoy it. But when they see the relationship between alcohol, eating, carbohydrates and all that, it makes you think twice, and you might change some things here and there, not because someone tells you, but because you know how things work. So
certainly
giving power back to the person.
Yeah, there you go. Well, I should have had a conversation with you when I was still playing, and might have been able to tip me in the right way that the old black rats aren't exactly the best recovery fuel for you. So yeah. But no, that's fantastic, Erich. Awesome stuff here. We'll get some photos and stuff to put up on our social media pages as well. So from Diabetes Australia, and you can find all your information. That'll be, if you throw it into Google, Diabetes Australia will have a lot of tools, I'm sure, resources that people can get to. But fantastic being up here in the Torres Strait. What a great carnival.
Thanks.
Could you think of anything better to do than come down here, see a little bit of basketball and have some conversations? So, and any chance getting out on the boat while you're up here? Have you?
I don't think so. I'm off to Mount Isa next week.
Oof, geez.
And then I'm back in
Picked
Brisbane
the right time of year for that.
Nice and warm, But the beautiful thing is you tell the story once, and hopefully it stays with people by using tools like this. The beautiful thing I saw is talk to about 6 or so 9 and 10-year-olds yesterday. And they came back this morning and they were playing with magnets and that.
Awesome.
And I said, do you remember how this works? And they had it spot on.
Awesome.
So it's about what you visualise, you can see, and then you can, so it's not a whole heap of words on paper or me raving on. Nice and visual.
Yeah.
Kids get it.
Yeah, fantastic stuff. No, that's awesome. All right. Thanks very much, Erich. We're going to go back, keep bringing you the basketball action, but thanks very much for spending some time with us.
No worries. Thanks, Zach.
Awesome.